Okay, so this workshop is about bridging separation. So, what we're going to be doing here today is connecting with that twin flame, sacred partner, divine counterpart, whatever label you like to use. We're going to be connecting with that energy today. We're going to be doing a deep dive into understanding what separation actually is, how it manifests in yourself, how it manifests in your life, and how it manifests in your connection. We're going to be learning how to clear some of that energy, some of that illusion of separation, because separation truly is an illusion. When we really understand our connection to ourselves, when we really understand our connection to God, higher power, the universe, again, whatever label you prefer to use, whatever resonates with you, as we connect to that energy, we realize that there is no separation, that everything is interconnected, and that there is only unity. And that's what our ascension journey is bringing us back to. It's bringing us back to unity consciousness. We're going to explore some practical steps and exercises, grounding practices to help you connect to the unshakable union within yourself so that you really anchor in, integrate, and affirm that union within yourself, which is what it is about. Again, even if you've been activated to sacred union with a partner, with a catalyst, with a person, it is about coming home to yourself. So you can have that twin flame, that sacred partner, that soulmate. Again, whatever phrase you prefer, but they are catalysts ultimately to your journey of ascension. So we're connecting to that energy within yourself and connecting to the energy of your sacred partner. And then we're going to conclude with the Bridge of the Heart guided meditation. Okay, so starting point. In order to understand union, we have to understand what separation is. Separation is ultimately the core wound that we all have. It's being separate from God's source, from higher power, from the universe, and ultimately being separate from ourselves. When we look at some of our habits, our patterns, in the unconscious self, in the shadow self, we realize that that's where we're creating separation. And I'll give you some examples. This could be in communication, where you're not being present, where you're being distracted, maybe distracted by phones or distracted by social media. This could be if you're in judgment of another person or in judgment of yourself. That's separation. Or if there's some kind of conflict. That's where separation can kind of come in. That's where conflict can come in, is when we are feeling separate from the other person because we feel like we have to control them. We especially experience that on this twin flame journey, is we're looking outside of ourselves. That's what creates the separation. We're looking externally, we're looking outside of ourselves. And anytime we look outside of ourselves, we create that separation because everything is within us. Everything. And separation isn't just about relationships. As we just saw in those examples, it is our connection to everything around us. So it's not just about the relationships we have with other people, but we can be separate with regards to money. If you're feeling scarcity or lack, or if you constantly are saying, I'm broke, then you're creating that reality, you're creating that separation. You're not remembering how supported you are. You're not remembering how abundant you are truly. You're living in that separation energy. You're living in that scarcity. You're living in that lack. And that's not who you truly are. Who you truly are on a soul level is someone who is supported by the universe, is somebody who is abundant naturally. And not just when it comes to money, but look around you at the resources that you have, the support you have, the community that you have. When we start shifting our perspectives from the lack, from the scarcity, from the separation, that's how we start coming into union. Separation and union are two ends of one spectrum. And as humans, we tend to live in either end, right? As humans who are unconscious, who are just starting along this journey, we tend to live in this end of the separation, right? Because we're unconscious, and so unconscious patterns and habits are playing out. There's an imbalance within ourselves. We're not connected with ourselves. The more, I always say, our awareness is our superpower. The more aware and conscious we are of our patterns, of our habits, of our mindsets and beliefs that we keep playing out, the more we're able to bridge that gap and come from that separation energy and into unity consciousness, which is what union is. So there's the money piece. You can experience this in job or careers. For example, with passions and interests. If you are working in a job that you just hate, that is draining, you're disconnecting from yourself. You're disconnecting from your soul path. You might have manifested that job or that career at one point in your life. You might have been aligned to it at one point in your life. But if you're continuing down a path that no longer feels aligned, that just feels draining and almost like damaging to your soul, then you're creating that separation energy. And that impacts your career, that impacts your work-life balance, that impacts your finances, that impacts everything, right? It just kind of drains your energy. So the more that you're in alignment with your passions, the more that you're in alignment with your interests, the more that you're in alignment with whatever hobbies, whatever projects, whatever job or career that really lights you up, the more you're moving into unity consciousness. Because again, union is all about connection within oneself, connecting to the soul of yourself. And anything that is not connected to the soul of yourself, that's what creates the disconnect. That's what creates the separation. So do we see how it's like two ends of the same spectrum? And at any point we can be moving along the spectrum. And our ascension journey is really having us anchor in, integrate, and embody that higher frequency, that unity end of the spectrum. So the last example I have is where we can create separation, not just in relationships or within ourselves, but in the world. We experience that in politics. We experience that in education. We experience that in just every kind of system and structure right now. And I could go on a tangent about how everything is serving a purpose for our ascension, but I'm not going to do that today. But there's so much division in this world. Now, we have a choice. We can focus on that division. We can focus on all the things that create the division. Or we can turn inwards and say, okay, how am I going to play a part in creating unity? How am I going to have my energy, rather than having outside influences affect me, how am I going to have my energy affect the world? And you do that by, again, going within, connecting to that union within, the balance, the harmony, the peace, the compassion, and especially the love. And that has a ripple effect. If you're connected to yourself, and I mean your full authentic self, you're connected to your soul self, then you are connected to the energy of love. And that matters. That has an impact. And you can see that having impact. How in manifestation, gratitude practices really matter. Because the more gratitude you have for something, the more you move into the energy of gratitude, and that gratitude creates more abundance for you, because that's how the universe works, right? The more you're in that energy of love, love begets more love. Peace begets more peace. Joy begets more joy. The more you're in the energy of joy, the more the universe is going to bring in opportunities for joy, etc. Well, the same goes for separation and division, or unity and oneness. The more we're feeding into and focusing on the separation and the division, the more we're going to be creating that. The more we're focused on peace and harmony and oneness and unity, the more we're creating that. Separation is an energy. We don't have to engage or even like the experiences that we're having. We don't have to engage in or even like everyone and everything. Like, there's going to be some people in the world that you don't like, that you don't prefer. There's going to be some experiences that you don't want to have. That's not creating separation. Separation is when there's judgment about it. Separation is when there is conflict within ourselves about it. Separation is when there is discord and division. That's separation. You're allowed as a human to not like someone. You're allowed as a human to not like an experience or not want a situation or experience. That's not creating separation. Separation is the energy. So I want that to be very clear too. So don't judge yourself for not liking something or not liking someone. It's the energy behind it that creates a separation. We can feel separate from other people. We can feel separate from ourselves. We can feel separate from the world, from money, from all these things we've already discussed. But what it comes down to at the core and the crux is feeling separate from God. Higher power, the universe, whatever it is that you prefer, feeling separate from that source energy, from love. That is the core and the crux that we are healing on our ascension journey, and that is what the Sacred Union Path of Ascension is here to show us. That's what your twin flame or counterpart is here to show you. Union, this is one of the core teachings that has been coming through for years. Union is not something of a destination. It is not something that you strive for. It is not something that is a goal. It is not something outside of yourself. Union is and always has been a part of you. You're just clearing the wounds. You're just clearing the separation energy. You're clearing the illusion to remember. Bring yourself home and remember that you are and always have been in union.